Hey, Thriving Launchers, have you guys heard of Facebook Messenger bots? The newest technology that allows you to communicate with your fans, potential clients, and leads through Facebook in an automated and yet very intuitive and even natural kind of way. Well, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to use Facebook Messenger bots to increase sales. And if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. Welcome to Thriving Launch with Luis Congdon and Kamala Chambers, the show for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want it all.
Hey, it's Kamala, and I want to help you start a podcast that grows your following. Right now, podcasting is changing, and the old way of starting a podcast could actually just end up slowing you down, wasting your time, and leaving you feeling overwhelmed. I've been there and I've done that, and the problem is that 99% of even the most successful authorities aren't up to speed on the one strategy to launch a podcast that's going to grow your loyal following, get your message heard, and bring in new customers. So Luis and I have put together a free masterclass where we're going to give you our number one strategy so you can launch a podcast from zero and 5x your following that attracts new customers. So go ahead and grab that masterclass at paidtopodcast.com. That's the number 2, paidtopodcast.com.
Today's guest, Mahoney, is known as the Prepared Performer. She's a master at helping entrepreneurs, artists, and direct sales professionals up their visibility, online presence with Facebook. And today, she's going to join us to talk about some new technology on Facebook. All right, Thriving Launchers, we're here with Molly. Molly, are you ready to launch?
I am ready.
So, hey, let's talk about messenger bots. It's the future. We're living in a time now where this whole thing of like social media being segregated from email and other ways to really use business or utilize business and utilize great customer service, it's shifting. And now social media is become intertwined with all these levels of communication, and messenger bots are big, aren't they right now, Molly? Like I think there's something bigger coming with messenger bots.
Oh yeah, that's actually something I was going to say, is that it's like there's this crazy, magical gap of opportunity that is still open right now. A lot of us have heard about them and know what's possible, but there's still so many people who have no idea that they even exist. And so I just think it's such a magical time when we can really jump in and make it your own and take it to the next level.
You know, I want to back up just for 1 second because I sometimes just get wrapped up in my head and assume that people know exactly what I'm talking about because I'm living my world. So Thriving Launchers, Molly, briefly, can you tell us what a messenger bot is so that for anyone that doesn't know, will understand?
Yes. So the most simple way to explain it is that it is a way to automate your Facebook Messenger on your business page. Just like you would do with Infusionsoft or ConvertKit or MailChimp in your email, it's a similar thing, and it's also totally different. It gives the opportunity to take your audience on a little self-guided adventure. So you can give them buttons and options to push and ask them questions and respond based on how they answer. And it all happens within Facebook Messenger on your business page.
I would love to hear why we would want to use that. I know that there's a lot of different uses for it, but why would we want to use it and how would we use it?
Yeah, so 2 reasons. One is that it allows us to have a more human experience. So our audiences are becoming more and more savvy. So when they get an email from your email service provider, they know that it's an automated email. This thing that we do in Messenger really creates a brand new experience where they want to have fun and engage, and it makes things more personal, more one-on-one, and more customized for exactly what they want, so you can be solving their problems. The other thing is that, as you probably know, email open rates right now are around 20%, which is crazy that that's actually considered a good email open rate. And then the click-through rate is around 1% right now. And with messenger bots, the open rate on average is about 80% and the click-through rate is about 50%. And we've seen that proven time and time again with all of our clients, that it's like a drastic difference. So simply having your audience open your message is a really great first step.
So Thrive and Launchers, I want to tell you guys about a brief experiment that I did with messenger bots. And again, it was very brief. It was just a little experiment, but I released a product called Profit from Facebook. Maybe some of you guys listening have actually purchased that. And what I did is I released a free guide. It's like a 25-page guide that shows you how to use Facebook. And I ran some really low-cost ads to it so people could see the ad. It was video, and you could just comment, whether or not you wanted it. You could comment, I want it, or there's certain key phrases that would trigger this messenger bot. And if you said those key phrases, the trigger would automatically go right into your messenger, right into your Facebook Messenger, and say, hey, you wanted the guide, let me know, just say yes. You would comment yes there in your own private message with the bot, and then my book would be sent to you. And we had something like around 500 new people download that. I spent maybe around $50, $60 on ads. And when you think about that, that's incredibly good to have that many new leads with ads. And what was really cool is pretty much everybody that commented on that post opened and clicked and downloaded the guide. And that definitely increased sales. One of the mistakes I made, Molly, and this is where I want to get in, because I expect that a lot of you guys are going to go and look at the bots, and Molly will give you a couple suggestions of some different bots that you can try out. But I think the question that I want to dive in and I want to leap ahead for you guys is, what's kind of the best strategy with the bot? Because one of the things I did is I gave the guide, and then I kind of very quickly assumed the sale or led people to the sales page. And so I had a fair amount of people unsubscribe from my bot, and I expected that anyways. But I know that there's this kind of better way to do it, whereas we want to think of email as more kind of business orientated, and the bot, we want to have more of a conversation and say, hey, would you like to, do you get what I'm saying, Molly?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So first of all, if you go straight into the sale, there's two main things. If you go straight into a sale, number one, you're being what some people in my community refer to as a salesy weirdo. So you could turn people off if you jump right to the sale right away unexpectedly. But the most important thing is that you're actually risking getting your account shut down, because Facebook has pretty clear rules about sales. So if you say, I'm offering you information on how to purchase something, click this button, that probably could be okay. But if you're saying, I have a free thing that I'm going to give you, and then the next message that you send them, here's what has to happen. You only have a 24-hour window in order to send something that's promotional. After that, you have to be careful that it's like you unlock this 24-hour window again. So you need to get them to respond to you in a way that seems like they're messaging your page, and then you can make an offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And one question I have is, what are the other things that we absolutely need to know that we don't do?
Yeah. So actually there's one other thing, and it sounds like, Lewis, like you did this correctly in the way that you did it, but a lot of people they'll set up the comment bot, in ManyChat, they call it a comment growth tool, where you comment below and then it sends you a message. And they think that just because you've messaged your audience that they're subscribed, but that's not the case. They actually have to message you in order to be subscribed. So there's a few different places that you want to make sure that you implement this. One is with the comment growth tool. So if someone comments below, you have to make sure that you ask them a question in that next message. Like, hey, it looks like you're interested in my free book. Reply to this message with the word book and we'll send it to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And can you kind of walk us through an overview of a successful campaign that you ran through a messenger bot?
Yeah, so we've had two that have been seriously amazing for us, and then we've had some other really awesome ones for clients too. The one that was the coolest was that we had a video that had a reach of 1 million people because we used this strategy with messenger bots that I'll walk you through. So, and a reach of 1 million is not normal on our page at all. So what we did was, and I have this all written out in a case study, like step by step, because it's a little complicated, but you pre-schedule a Facebook Live on your business page using like Be Live, for example. And then after you pre-schedule the Facebook Live, you do a post on your business page that announces a free upcoming training. So you don't say a Facebook Live, you say a free upcoming training, and you make it something that's like really juicy and like solving a major problem for them, right? Then you have them comment below your post in order to get access to the free upcoming training. Then what happens is you actually direct them back to your pre-scheduled Facebook Live. Is this making sense?
So far it's making sense. And one of the things I want to say is Thrive and Launchers, you guys know that we always have links for this stuff. So Molly, I know that you're very generous, and we'll grab that link from you so that we can share it there in the show notes so people can read that case study as well.
Perfect. Yeah. And I have screenshots and everything. So you can like Owen Hemsmath, Owen Video, he was like, oh my gosh, you changed my life with this case study. So it's all written out so you can go through the whole thing. So after you send them the link to your pre-scheduled Facebook Live, the reason the magic happens is because you're not actually able to boost a pre-scheduled Facebook Live before you go live, right? You know how the boosting it's not allowed on Facebook. And if you have another comment growth tool on the live and you say like, comment below with the word show notes if you want the show notes, people will start commenting on your Facebook Live before you actually go live.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it totally boosts the organic reach.
Can you walk us through, thank you so much for that, first of all.
Yeah.
That's really incredible. And Thrive and Launchers, one of the
I'd really like to hear how you could use this to actually get people on your list or to actually turn this into people buying your products.
Yeah. So I have another really cool example that we did, which was we had a training that we were doing. The training had not happened yet. It was solving a really specific problem. It was a $97 training. And I did a video that said, hey, this training's coming up. If you want access to it, comment below. We gave them the information about the training in the messenger response. And we did a Facebook ad with, it was $900 in Facebook ads that we had spent. By the time we had spent the $900 in Facebook ads, we had brought in 200 sales because we were tapping into such a specific problem and really engaging them first. And then it got even cooler because what we realized was we had 200 sales and we had 1,200 people who had actually opted in for more information. So I was like, what do I do to connect with those extra 1,000 people? So you're allowed to send one follow-up broadcast about a specific topic or product, right? So I sent one follow-up broadcast to the entire list. And this is like a really specific way that I did it. And it brought in an extra 40 sales within 30 minutes. And then eventually it brought in an extra 200 sales. So we ended up bringing 400 sales in for this $97 product, plus 5 high-ticket private coaching clients as well. Can I tell you the steps of the message?
Yeah, we would love to hear that.
I want to hear that.
Okay, cool. So the message was this, and this is like really important, the way that the language is crafted. So we sent them a message that said, hey, we saw that you're interested in our upcoming course called Connect and Convert. Did you get a chance to grab it yet? Or have you registered yet? Is what we said. And they could say yes, not yet, or not interested. So we always give them an option to say not interested so that we're not spamming people. We don't have people in there who don't want to be there. We let them self-select out. So we had some people say not interested. We had some people say yes. And the people who said yes, we said, great, go check your email. We sent you information there. The people who said not yet, we took them through this little journey where we said, there's no pressure. We're actually seeing amazing results in the group already. Here are some of the results people have gotten. And I just wanted to let you know the price is going to go up tomorrow. So we weren't planning on raising the price, but this little message ended up skyrocketing the results like cuckoo because we really gave them something that was time bound, like urgent, and they actually opened the messages.
That's so incredible. And, something that I'm really enjoying about all of this is there's so much interaction that's happening. Whereas when I send an email, and guys, I'm still a fan of email. I love email. But one of the things I'm loving about this is that you're getting to see people like interact with you live. And if they write the bot and it's something that's not kind of completely within the algorithm, you could respond to them personally. So there's a lot of connection that's happening, which is one of the keys to sales.
Totally. And there's ways that, like I was just building a bot with a client this morning that was setting up like a strategy session for her. And there's ways that you can send out a notification to yourself anytime someone responds a certain way or fills in a certain, answer to a question. You also, I know you had asked about email, and we love email too. And actually we've used the bot in order to increase our email open rates, because you can use Zapier and connect it so that as soon as they enter their email address, it automatically sends them an email. And then you say, go open your email to get the thing.
Whoa, so there's software. I want to repeat that one more time so that we have that here in the transcription for everybody listening, and also just for my own memory. What are those two pieces of software you mentioned?
Yeah, so the way that we do it, we start with ManyChat, ManyChat, and then ManyChat, I use a Zap. So I don't know, some people call it Zapier, some people call it Zapier, whatever. Yeah, to connect it connects to, so far I've done it with ConvertKit, MailChimp, Infusionsoft. I think those are all the ones we've used for our clients so far. But it's super easy. It just connects right to your email service provider, and it will actually, if you set it up properly, it will send an email right away. So you can say, great, go get your show notes. They're in your email inbox. And
that's amazing. And now you're training, and Thriving Launchers, what you're doing with that is you're training people to then go open their emails, which is just a deeper training to get them excited about looking forward to your emails and trusting that your emails are useful, which then when you make an offer, they're going to open it and they're going to see it.
100%. Yeah, totally.
So, Molly, one of the things I wanted to mention, and I know Kamala's going to have a wrap-up question here, but one of the things I want to mention, and then Kamala, you can go into your last question here, is that companies like Domino's, KSM is a very large European airline company, Coca-Cola, various really big companies, Geico. If you go into their social media pages, I've noticed these really large companies are using bots of sorts that are very intelligent. They're hiring, companies to kind of build these out specially for them. ManyChat is one of the companies that offers you the opportunity to go in, and the software is all set up and you can do this. But the key thing that I'm really trying to give you, Thriving Launchers, is that big companies are doing it, small companies, entrepreneurs are doing it, and yet you're kind of a big fish in a small pond, because not in the context of everybody on Facebook, very few people are really utilizing the strategy. So people are still kind of like, whoa, this is cool and it's novel. It's not, we're not in a kind of a saturation space where it's like, oh, I've got 10 bots messaging me, this is annoying. People are actually still really excited about it. Is that right, Molly?
Yes, 100%. And so if you're thinking about building bots yourself, like for other companies, it's a huge opportunity right now to jump in and really capitalize on the newness and the fact that you can really gain preeminence and still stand out in that way. And I just want to shout out Domino's bot, because I think it's so awesome how they've created a character. They named him Dom. This is what we teach. We teach that you don't actually pretend that it's you having the conversation. We teach that you create a character inside your messenger bot so that you're not tricking your audience. You're being really upfront and letting them know this is your automated assistant. And on Domino's, you can order an entire pizza customized. It's so crazy. It's really cool. So yeah.
That's so amazing. And before we sign off, I really would love to hear from you. Is there any last thing any ninja tricks or strategies that you want to make sure that the Thriving Launchers include with this process?
Yeah. So 2 things. One is, first of all, because I should have said this at the beginning, Facebook's changing the rules all the time. So make sure when you jump into this that you read the terms of service, because they could change the rules tomorrow. So remember, we do not actually own this platform. It is still important to get people off into email, and make sure you're following the rules, because I don't want to be responsible if you're not. And 2 is, there's so many ways to make this like crazy fun. You can do quizzes, you can add GIFs, you can add videos, you can have your audience upload a picture and then save it in like a spreadsheet file. There's so many cool things that you can do to learn about your audience, to give them a better experience, and in the long run, to be able to boost your sales because you're offering this experience to your audience and allowing them to move into the next level of service.
That is so incredible. Thriving Launchers, this has been, for me, it's been a deep dive into learning just another method that we can really connect, build trust, and nurture the relationship with our potential clients, current clients, and millions of people online, and tap into a new tool that is so new, so novel, that the open rates are outranking email. The click-through rates are outranking anything else that we've seen online. And I just highly encourage all of you to take a look at it. One of the cool things, just to plug, since I've tried various different chatbots, is ManyChat is incredible. Molly happens to represent them, work with them, be part of that team. And they offer the service for free, and then you can upgrade and pay differently for different services that they have. And it's all incredibly affordable. I'm not getting paid to say this. I get nothing out of it other than just putting in a plug for really incredible service. And thank you so much, Molly, for joining us. Thriving Launchers, go out, take something away from today's episode, and take action. And we'll see you on the next episode. Keep thriving, y'all.
You've been listening to the Thriving Launch podcast. For books and resources related to today's episode, make sure to head over to thrivinglaunch.com. We'll see you there.